2 Corinthians 6. And working together, we also call upon you not to receive the favor of Elohim in vain. For he says, in an acceptable time I have heard you, and in a day of deliverance I have helped you. See, now is the well-accepted time. See, now is a day of deliverance, giving no cause of stumbling in whatever, so that the service is not blamed. Rather, we commend ourselves as servants of Elohim in every way, in much endurance, in pressures, in hardships, in distresses, in stripes, in imprisonments, in disturbances, in toils, in watchings, in fastings, in cleanness, in knowledge, in patience, in kindness, in the set-apart spirit, in love unfeigned, in the word of truth, in the power of Elohim, through the weapon of righteousness on the right and on the left, through esteem and disrespect, through evil report and good report, regarded as deceivers and yet true, as unknown and yet well known, as dying and see we live, as disciplined and yet not killed, as sad yet always rejoicing, as poor yet enriching many, as having none and yet possessing all. Our mouth has spoken openly to you, O Corinthians. Our heart is wide open. You are not restrained by us, but you are restrained by your own affection. But for the same reward, I speak as to children. Open wide your hearts too. Do not become unevenly yoked with unbelievers, for what partnership has righteousness and lawlessness? And what fellowship has light with darkness? And what agreement has Messiah with Belial? Or what part does a believer have with an unbeliever? And what union has the dwelling place of Elohim with idols? For you are a dwelling place of the living Elohim, as Elohim has said, I shall dwell in them and walk among them, and I shall be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Therefore come out from among them and be separate, says Yahweh, and do not touch what is unclean, and I shall receive you. And I shall be a father to you, and you shall be sons and daughters to me, says Yahweh the Almighty. Chapter 7. Having then these promises, beloved, let us cleanse ourselves from all defilement of the flesh and spirit, perfecting set-apartness in the fear of Elohim. Make room for us. We wronged no one. We corrupted no one. We exploited no one. I do not say this to condemn, for I previously said that you are in our hearts, to die together and to live together. Great is my boldness of speech toward you. Great is my boasting on your behalf. I have been filled with encouragement. I overflow with joy in all our pressure. For indeed, when we came into Macedonia, our flesh had no rest, but we were hard pressed on every side. Conflicts without, fears within. But Elohim, who encourages the downcast, encouraged us by the coming of Titus. And not only by his coming, but also by the encouragement with which he was encouraged over you, when he reported to us your longing, your mourning, your ardor for me, so that I greatly rejoiced. For even if I made you sad with my letter, I do not regret it, though I did regret it, for I perceive that the same letter made you sad, even if for an hour. I now rejoice, not that you were made sad, but that you were saddened into repenting. For you were made sad according to Elohim, so that you suffered no loss from us. For sadness according to Elohim works repentance to deliverance, not to be regretted. But the sadness of the world works death. For see how you have been saddened according to Elohim, how much it worked out in your eagerness, indeed clearing yourselves, indeed displeasure, indeed fear, indeed longing, indeed ardor, indeed righting of wrong. In every way you proved yourselves to be clear in the matter. So although I wrote to you, it was not for the sake of him who had done the wrong, nor for the sake of him who suffered wrong, but for the sake of revealing our diligence for you before Elohim. For this reason we have been encouraged in your encouragement, and we rejoiced exceedingly more for the joy of Titus, because his spirit has been refreshed by all of you. Because if I have boasted somewhat about you to him, I am not ashamed. But as we spoke to you in all truth, even so our boasting to Titus was found true. And his tender feelings are greater for you, as he remembers the obedience of all of you, as you received him with fear and trembling. I rejoice that in every way I am of good courage by reasoning of you. Chapter 8. Now, brothers, we make known to you the favor of Elohim, which has been given in the assemblies of Macedonia, that in much trial of pressure, the overflowing of their joy and their deep poverty overflowed into the riches of their generosity. Because I bear witness that according to their ability and beyond their ability, they gave voluntarily, begging us with much urgency for the favor of taking part in this service to the set-apart ones. And not as we expected. They gave themselves first to the Master, and then to us by the desire of Elohim, that we should urge Titus, that as he had begun, so he would also complete this kind gift in you as well. But as you excel in every way, in belief and speech and knowledge and all diligence, and in your love for us, that you should excel in this kind gift as well. I speak not by command, but I am proving the genuineness of your love by the eagerness of others. For you know the favor of our Master Yeshua Messiah, that being rich, he became poor for your sake, so that you might become rich through his poverty. And in this I give an opinion. It is to your advantage not only to be doing what you began and were desiring to do a year ago, and now also complete the work, that as there was a readiness in desiring it, so there also should be a completion out of what you have. For if the readiness is present, it is well received according to what one has, not according to what he does not have. Not, however, that others should be eased and you hard pressed, but by fair sharing, that now at this time your plenty for their need, so that their plenty might also be for your need, that there might be fair sharing. As it has been written, he who gathered much did not have too much, and he who gathered little had not less. But thanks be to Elohim, who puts the same eagerness for you into the heart of Titus, because he received the appeal indeed, but being more eager, he went to you with his own accord, And we sent with him the brother whose praise is in the good news through all the assemblies. And not only so, but who was also chosen by the assemblies to travel with us with this gift that is administered by us, to the esteem of the Master himself and your ready mind, avoiding this, that anyone should blame us in this generous gift which is administered by us. For we provide what is right, not only in the sight of Yahweh, but also in the sight of men. And we sent with them our brother, whom we have often proved eager in many ways, but now much more eager, because of the great resilience which we have in you. As for Titus, he is my partner and fellow worker for you. As for our brothers, they are messengers of the assemblies, the esteem of Messiah. Therefore, how Show to them the proof of your love and your boasting on your behalf, and in the presence of the assemblies. Chapter 9. Indeed, concerning the service to the set-apart ones, it is necessary for me to write to you. For I know your eagerness, about which I boast of you to the Macedonians, that Achaia was ready a year ago, and your ardor has stirred up most of them. But I sent the brothers, lest our boasting on behalf of you should be made empty in this part, in order that, as I said, you were ready. Lest if some Macedonians come with me and find you not ready, we, not to speak of you, should be put to shame because of our belief. So I thought it necessary to appeal to the brothers to come to you in advance and arrange your promised blessing beforehand. This is to be ready as a blessing and not as greediness. And this, he who sows sparingly shall also reap sparingly, and he who sows on blessing shall also reap on blessing. Let each one give as he proposes in his heart, not of grief or of necessity. For Elohim loves a joyous giver, and Elohim is able to make all favor overflow toward you, that you, always having all you need in every way, have plenty for every good work. As it has been written, he scattered abroad, he gave to the poor, his righteousness remained forever. And he also supplies seed to the sower, and bread for food. Shall supply and increase the seed you have sown, and increase the fruit of your righteousness, being enriched in every way for all simplicity, which works out thanksgiving to Elohim through us. Because the rendering of this service not only supplies the needs of the set-apart ones, but also is overflowing through many thanksgivings to Elohim. Through the proof of this service, they esteem Elohim on the submission of your confession to the good news of Messiah, and generosity in sharing with them all men. And by their prayer for you who long for you because of the exceeding favor of Elohim in you. Thanks also to Elohim for his unspeakable gift. Chapter 10. And I, Shaul, myself appeal to you through the meekness and gentleness of Messiah. I who am indeed lowly when face to face with you, but bold toward you when absent. But I pray that when I am present, I might not be bold with that bravery by which I think to be bold against some who reckon us as if we walked according to the flesh. For though we walk in the flesh, we do not fight according to the flesh. For the weapons we fight with are not fleshly, but mighty in Elohim for overthrowing strongholds, overthrowing reasons, and every high matter that exalts itself against the knowledge of Elohim, taking captive every thought to make it obedient to the Messiah, and being ready to punish all disobedience when your disobedience is complete. Take a look at what you are facing. If anyone seems to trust in himself that he is of Messiah, let him reckon again for himself, that as he is of Messiah, so also are we. For even if I should boast somewhat more about our authority, which the Master gave us for building up and not for overthrowing you, I shall not be put to shame, lest I seem to frighten you away by letters. Because they say his letters are truly weighty and strong, but his bodily presence is weak, and his speech amounts to naught. Let such a one take this into account, that what we are in word by letters when absent, we are also indeed when we are present. For we do not presume to count ourselves or compare ourselves with those who commend themselves, but they, measuring themselves by themselves and comparing themselves among themselves, are not wise. But we shall not boast beyond measure, but within the measure of the limits of Elohim assigned unto us to reach even to you. For we are not overextending ourselves as we did not reach to you. For we also came to you with the good news of the Messiah, not boasting beyond measure in the labors of others, but having an expectation that as your belief grows, we shall be greatly enlarged by you, according to our limits, to bring the good news in the parts beyond you, not to boast in another's limits in what has been accomplished, but he who boasts, let him boast in Elohim. For not he who commends himself is approved, but he whom the Master commends. Shalom.